Shalom.
All right, back out here again through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Meeting up in Louisville, Texas with the brother. Before we go any further, we're going to face the east. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Dash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, teaching this truth in its entirety. A hearty shalom to all the brothers, sisters, and children that come back to this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and true faith and sincerity. It's your brother Kalab, also go by Hope, Grace, and Mercy.
It's your brother Live Badino, YouTube known as Southern Neighbor.
Back out here again. It's cold. Hey, show and the band plays on. All right, we're gonna bring out a couple of articles on the end-time headlines like we always do. Says Iranian prince calls for surgical strike on the Islamic Republic to topple regime. It's just the war drums, they just won't stop sounding. You know, and they say that Trump, he the first president to bomb 8 countries. You know what I'm saying? In one term. I mean, like in a matter of months.
I heard that.
You know,
too, yeah.
The war drums are just sound, and they can't quiet them even if they turn off the news, man. Even if you turn off the news, it's just everywhere. And that's how you know what I'm saying, the righteous and the unrighteous is in authority, man. It says top Iranian general threats to cut off Trump's hand over potential military strikes. ICE agents, and by the way, these coming from the end-time headline, ICE agents ordered not to retaliate against protesters or stop drivers in the streets during chaotic Minnesota operation. Yeah, right. What you gonna do if they do it? You can't reprimand them. They got full immunity.
Yep.
But you know that's the stuff that they put in the media. You know what I'm saying? What the dude said, the cuffs are off for you and on the criminal.
Oh, yep.
But Babylon the Great is showing its true colors. Babylon the Great hates its citizens. The only ones that they care about are the elite bankers and stuff.
The Israelis.
We know that they don't care about us, but now 2/3 these Edomites, they starting to feel a rap too. It says, next it says, Russia warns Trump that he would trigger, Russia warns Trump that he would trigger the end of the world if he captures Greenland. Next it says, Zelensky says Trump's peace agreement could be signed at Davos next week if terms agreed. You know it started this week coming up.
Peace agreement.
It says the peace treaty could be signed at Davos next week if terms agreed. They talking about the peace treaty between Russia and Ukraine.
Okay.
But they having that Davos, the Davos meeting. You know, when all the nations get together. And guess who leading it this time? Trump. So you know this probably the last meeting. They finna roll out the red carpet on everything.
They gonna walk out on his side.
No, he finna get some straightening going. Like this the meeting where they come together, a secret meeting. Everybody who on the same team. The last time they did it, they had that lady doing like some witchcraft shit.
Oh, okay.
Enchantments on stage. No, this the one when they all at a bridge and stuff. Okay. You know what I'm saying? This one they finna roll out. They finna start talking about what they finna do. You know what I'm saying? It says, next Trump backing podcast, Sean Ryan rips into White House for protecting pedophiles. Yeah, because remember when Trump came into office, he was talking like he gonna expose all these pedophiles. He did nothing. And only 1% of the Epstein files have been released since then. It says Chinese military says it is developing over 10 quantum warhead weapons.
I gotta look that up. That sounds like some bad
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
right there.
And you know, these, like Mr. The King would say, these weapons ain't made to be in the museum. These things made to be used, every last one of them. Ain't gonna be no duds, man.
Oh yeah.
Read that. That's just sick. And look who it is. Esau.
Of course. And you know, ICE raids ramping up. They started targeting Native Americans more and more. You know, so-called Native Americans. Yeah. And Trump was supposed to strike Iran. I knew it wasn't gonna happen though, because it was too soon. He postponed it last minute.
And some had to happen because right before he said he was gonna do it, two planes from China had landed over there.
Yeah. And that only makes sense because you know the mark of the beast got to be rolled out
Yeah.
before World War III popped
Exactly.
off. That would have probably popped off World War III.
Before it goes nuclear.
Yep. So I mean, attacks still coming, but you know, more stuff got to take place over here in the West. So expect certain threats to be postponed and delayed and not fall through when they say they're gonna fall through.
He be lying?
That nigga scared. And her brother say, you know, Iran gave them hell last time. They said Iran ain't been doing nothing but getting shipments from China and Russia, missiles, fighter jets. So if Iran gave them hell last time, this is a different Iran 7 months later. As we said, you know, now listen, a few nights ago, you know, America making a lot of moves, but they not the only one making moves.
They just the only one making moves and announcing they moves.
Yeah.
We ain't heard nothing Russia doing.
Nope.
Russia like shit. I don't gotta tell my people what we doing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. We're gonna get into the lesson. We'll be coming out the book of Peter again, as we usually do for the most part. It just be little things that catch our attention, make a whole lesson out of it, you know. And it looked like it's titled, Authorities Made Subject Unto Him. And that him is all caps. And that him would be Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shah. Now the authorities would be pretty much the people in power. You saw even the so-called white man, the governments of the world today. But that's all be made subject to the Most High himself. Because, you know, Esau ain't out here doing what he wants. You know, in his pride, he try to broadcast it that way. He doing as he pleases, but he really doing the will of the Most High.
Right? The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord.
Hey, perfect. Let's start off there. Because see, people think, you know, Esau doing what he wants, this is random. Or some people may say, he can't do that. Yes, he can.
Yes, he can.
Because when you read Revelation 13, it tells you that power was given him over kindreds, tongues, nations, and people. And we look at that word power, it says liberty to do as one pleases. So no, Esau can do what he wants. If he want to break international law, if he want to not follow the Constitution, he can do that. If he want to target and harass certain people, he can do that.
You always do.
Yup.
All right.
And we gonna make sense of it. You know, why can't Esau do as he pleases? If he made subject to the Most High, why is the Most High allow him to do what he wants?
Right,
You know,
this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 1. And it reads, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
yeah, King's heart is in the hand of the Lord. That ain't changed since the beginning. When you read in the book of Exodus, the Lord always hardened Pharaoh's heart. We went into that a lot last week. Well, guess what? Who's modern day Pharaoh? Trump. Because what is America? Spiritual Egypt. It's like a pyramid on the back of the dollar. And guess what? Just as the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, the Lord is hardening Trump's heart. This is the persecution of the Lord's people. You know, the affliction and the troubles that come into our people. You go to that word persecution, or to be pursued. A similar word would be to be harassed. And you see the 12 tribes as being harassed and persecuted by law and by law enforcement. Yeah, the king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. And the king today would be Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. So Trump thinking, see, illusion, excuse me, what is that? What do they call that? Now, not that freedom of choice. That's not what I'm trying to say though. Free will is an illusion.
Right.
Yeah, because Trump, he doing what his heart's desire. But who made Trump's heart? Who made Esau, Edom, the white man, to think the way he think? The Most High. So illusion is free will is an illusion. He's doing the will of the Most High in the earth. You know, pretty much sum it up for people who got a short attention span. The will of the Most High for Esau, Edom, the white man, is to do wickedly in the earth, to put hell on the Lord's people, which is our punishment for disobeying them. And then when the Lord done with Esau, He's gonna destroy him for his wickedness. For those who got a short attention span, that's the will of the Most High. The will of the Most High for Esau, Edom, the white man in the earth. So free will is an illusion. It's really a trap.
Oh yeah, it's like you said, it's a facade. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just things that people think that, well, everybody got their own free will. The Lord gives us a choice to make. Then He gonna see what we gonna do with it. Nah, man, this movie has already been scripted, man.
Yep.
From the front to the back.
Well, that is scripted. Everything that's taking place, we go to the script on it. And as the brother said, got the book of Proverbs, king's heart, meaning the mind, is in the hand of the Lord. And He turneth it, have you making certain decisions as He pleases. Nope, no, you can go pick up.
All right, this is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3 and verse 22. And it reads, who is gone unto heaven and is on the right hand of Yahweh thy power, angels and authority and powers being made subject unto him.
See that? It said angels, powers, and authorities being made subject unto him. See, an American Christian will read that and think it's talking about angels, which is talking about that. They think that it's talking about, you know, just stuff in the heavens.
Right.
Not knowing that's talking about the left-handed angels as well, who you people will call demons and evil spirits. Well, that's made subject unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai as well. But guess what? That includes things here in the earth, the authorities here in the earth. That's made subject unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai as well. They think the Lord created the earth, but not the earth just went out of control. You know, if you tell the Lord Esau doing this and the white man doing that, like the Lord will be like, dang, for real? Now the Lord knows.
Like when you tell them that, you know what I'm saying, the Lord kills.
Oh yeah.
I remember I had a conversation with my dad. He was like, no he don't. No he don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I read in the scripture, he told me that no, that wasn't the Lord talking, that was the person who wrote that verse.
My bad.
Hey, shit, hey man, what you mean? My dad don't repeat. Turn back to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Shit, what you think gonna happen?
Yeah.
He ain't gonna get no raise at his job. Shit.
Yeah, right. You know, like Esau just doing all kind of shit in the earth, and even the Lord is surprised. No, nothing get the Lord by surprise, because He orchestrating all this. We're gonna get into that next. But I got this word. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still.
Can you read that again, and I'm gonna look up this word authorities?
Come on. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 22. Who is gone into heaven and is on the right hand of Yahweh thy power, angels and authorities and powers being made subject unto him.
So angels, the Holy Spirits, the unclean, evil spirits,
Right.
you know, Satan and his minions. But guess what? You know, Holy Spirits, unholy spirits, their influence, it takes place in the earth. The earth is a stage where holiness and unholiness take place. So, you know, again, angels, powers, and authorities, holy spirits, unclean spirits, but mankind as well. The authorities of mankind made subject to the Most High.
Right, the authorities, it starts up top.
Yep.
It trickles down.
Yep, it starts
They
up
don't
top.
start up top and stay there.
Yup, it's divided to the right and to the left. You know, the right hand being, you know, the holy, the left being the profane, when it plays out here in the earth. This word authorities, it says authority over mankind. What the brother was going into, you know, ultimately the spiritual world, but even in the earth, there's authorities over mankind. Now also for this word authority, it says the power of rule or government. So authorities that's made subject to the Most High is the governments here on the earth today. That's made subject to the Most High. It's including Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. So he only doing what the Lord allows him to do. He's only doing what the Lord is telling him to do through Satan. Is it one?
Yeah, it's one.
I might as well take it at this, you know, might as well. Say thanks, huh? But yeah, what we got next, it's going to pretty much solidify everything we've been saying.
Right. Next precept is coming from the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 18 and verse 1. He that liveth forever hath created all things in general.
And he that liveth forever, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, created all things. It said in general. So good and evil. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, his government. And guess what? The Lord created scenarios where ice is examined at your door. The Lord created that scenario. Now, rather you get away or you get snatched up, the Lord created that. The Lord didn't just create the earth. Now everything is operating on its own. No, the Lord creates how the earth operates. And the people and things in the earth. What they do day to day, how things happen, the Lord creates that too.
It says, he that liveth forever hath created all things in general. All things.
Yeah.
All things, not just some things.
Again, especially scenarios. Now, when America is destroyed in nuclear destruction, that's what they call it, a series of unfortunate events. No, the Lord created that. You know, the things, the play-by-play that leads to different nations and countries doing this, to them pushing the button. The Lord created that too. By playing on their minds. Nobody said the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. Even your decision making. The Lord created the way you think and make decisions.
Spirits created for vengeance. Even those who go out and do, you know what I'm saying, wreak havoc.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Suicide bombers. You know what I'm saying? Just mass shootings. That's the Lord too. He might just all of a sudden get power of his own mind and be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this today.
Oh yeah, Mrs. of the Kingdom, they be saying, because they start talking about some big bang.
Yeah.
So they mean to tell me it's a random explosion. You got clouds, you got turtles, and then this nigga Esau landed on top. Like nigga, you got put there. You didn't just wind up on top. Yeah, you got put there. That's why Book of Romans tell you, as Pharaoh was raised up, so was Esau. He was raised up from a caveman. So yeah, he who lives forever created all things. So ice, that's the creation of the Lord. Yeah, Esau, the white man, manifested it and put it together in the flesh, but the Lord gave him the idea. The Lord gave them their mind to wickedness to do what they're doing. You know, the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, who's training ICE, the Lord created that too. You know, them being an extermination squad, how they operate, the Lord created all that. Just so he could destroy them at the end.
Just like he did Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Right. This is the book of, still in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 18, verse 2. The Lord only is righteous, and there is none other but he.
Meaning what? The Lord do all things, and everything he does is righteousness. There's no wrongdoing, no error in the mistake of the Lord. The root word for righteous is right. So everything the Lord does is right. The Lord creating ice is right. You know, ice targeting the 12 tribes, that was right or righteous. Meaning what? It's good to fulfill the will of the Lord. Now verse 3 gonna go into it more.
Verse 3. Ecclesiastes 18 and verse 3. Who governeth the world with the palm of his hand.
See that? He governeth the world with the palm of his hand. Not just the animals in the clouds, but the people. The kings of the earth today, the governments, the authorities in the earth, made subject unto him. That's what it means. He governed all things in the earth. All things.
As if he governed the world, but Trump
took over.
He took over the United States of America.
They think that the Lord governed the heavens, but the white man is on his own thing here in the earth. Now the Lord governed over that. But the book of Daniel say that they should know that the Most High ruleth the kingdom of men.
And all things obey his will.
All things obey his will. Again, the creation of ice, still being trained by the Israeli Defense Force. When ice is bamming on folks' door, snatching them up out of their car. The Lord created that scenario. They obeying the will of the Most High. Because see,
perfect.
ICE gonna start, and a lot of the people that's getting dealt with by ICE, they disobeyed the Lord. So the Lord is getting them for that.
Right.
So, you know, we get upset because Esau do this stuff in pride. But don't step in between when the Lord is dealing with harshly. See, the Lord is using Esau to deal with these people harshly, but then the Lord gonna deal with Esau after that.
The Lord is getting our minds ready to see some drastic things.
And it will be the elect.
We gonna see mass death.
This ain't nothing. Yeah.
This ain't nothing. You think just because ICE unalived pure immigrant in the back who was coming at him with a shovel, you ain't seen nothing.
That nigga lying, but yeah, we ain't seen nothing.
Right, just imagine all the bullets in your city being used. You know what I'm saying? Non-stop.
We got the report that the who was it? That I don't know what to call these damn Edomites. The IRS, and then like this United States government in general bought like some billions of bullets. They got more bullets than people in the earth.
And they bought them bullets in 2000
years back.
Man, years back. Yep. Like about 7, 8, 9 years ago.
Right.
And they also purchased an arsenal of
guillotines.
Guillotines. But
I don't think got like some 50,000, 20,000 guillotines.
And they also, I'm trying to think of the name of the gun. That single-handed guns that shoot grenades.
Okay,
You know
okay.
what I'm saying? So they gonna take it. They finna take it a notch up instead of him here. They gonna be hitting crowds. They
Oh,
gonna be able to
yeah.
hit crowds. You know what I'm saying? They order like 50,000 weapons that shoot grenades.
I heard that too. I know what you're talking about. All right, yeah, I
The ones
remember
that they
now.
use to shoot off the smoke grenades, but these gonna be shooting real grenades.
Yeah, I remember
Like
that.
50,000 of them.
Yep. Yeah, America gonna look like Gaza.
Yeah, for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? You see, you get 10 people shooting those off of one neighborhood, man. It can turn that thing upside down in
Real
no
quick.
time.
Yeah.
Along with all the other stuff that's going on too.
Yeah. So when that take place, know that the Lord created that to obey His will.
This precept is coming from the book of Baruch, chapter 1 and verse 5.
Now we gonna get into now that we know all things obey the Lord's will. We gonna get into why is the Lord letting His people. Why are we in the? Why did we get colonized into slavery? Why is He letting ICE harass us today? These questions we should be asking. We the Lord's people. We should be asking it anyway. If you ain't noticed, only a certain group of people that's being targeted by ICE are the same people that's been victim to slavery, slave ships,
It's been on
colonization.
it's been on the bottom of society since we've been over here.
Yeah. If you ain't noticed,
Right. When is it gonna be the Edomite turn?
yep. Why us? So the Lord about to get into that. Is that Baruch 4?
Baruch 1 and 5.
Okay.
This is the book of Baruch.
My bad. I think I messed that up. Should be maybe 4 and 5. Yeah, 4 and 5. My bad. And then even the heading here, it says encouragements to Israel and Jerusalem. Because that's also what this ministry is set up for, to encourage our people. Not no feel-good message, but encouragement from the Most High Himself.
All right, this is the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 5. Be of good cheer, my people. The memorial of Israel, ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction.
So the Lord didn't put us in slavery to destroy us. He not letting Trump and ICE, the white man coming at us to destroy us off the face of the earth. But guess what? When you read Psalms 83, that's what the white man and the other nations want to do. So the Lord's will is not for us to be wiped off the face of the earth. But see, the white man gonna try to do that. But the Lord gonna deal with him afterward, which is pretty soon.
But because ye moved Yahweh thy power to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemies.
So because we pissed the Lord off, constantly disobeyed him. Thousands and millions of times. So the Lord let us get sold into slavery. We was following after these nations that worshiping their gods anyway. So the Lord, like, if you love these people so much, I'm gonna deliver you into their hands. And that's what happened. So we found out the grass wasn't greener on the other side. And that's what we had to deal with. Still in the land of our captivity, being harassed by ICE.
And just like when Israel wanted a king so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Power said, okay, I'm gonna give y'all a king then.
Yeah, then we eventually started getting wicked kings.
Yeah.
Led our people astray. But even the custom of wanting a king, that's a Gentile custom. Because the Lord is supposed to rule over his people. But in the spirit, that set up position for Yahweh Shai later on down the road.
Israel be looking for a king that ain't got nothing to do with you.
Oh yeah, right.
Look at Martin Luther King.
Oh yeah.
They thought Martin Luther King was gonna be their savior.
Oh yep,
You know what I'm saying? But like you just said, wicked kings led us into destruction.
Yep.
Martin Luther King's last speech, they never aired it. He had said that I think that I have led my people to a burning building.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why they never aired that speech, because he had realized, like, dang, we screwed.
Yep.
Martin Luther King can't do nothing himself. Esau even took out his mama. You know little like Purim. Right?
Yeah.
Baruch 4 and verse 7. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to Yahweh thy power.
See, sacrificing unto devils. See, a Christian to read that, this pretty much what take place in Hollywood and in the government. Blood sacrifice, blood freaking eating human flesh, witchcraft.
Indulging into things that devils indulge into.
Homos, incest. That's all we can sacrifice. You know, instead of making sacrifice to the Lord. When you go into it, which is a lot of what you see today. LGBTQT, idol worship. Those are wicked sacrifices.
All right, next precept is coming from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 9 and verse 16. I will scatter them also among the heathen.
And that happened. The Lord scattered us to the four corners of the earth. By these different captivities, when we went on slave ships. Us going into slave ships, and that was a scenario created by the Yahweh outside. Because we can read about it in the book of Deuteronomy.
We're surrounded by heathen. Heathen own that gas station.
Yeah.
Heathen ran us from that gas station.
Oh, yeah.
Heathen on that food spot.
The heathen was trying to give us chicken sandwiches.
So it was. Yeah. Heathen trying to give us chicken sandwiches before we started.
And then we all over the earth. China, Russia, Korea, Europe. So we were scattered into all nations. And then let's see what will happen after that.
Still in the book of Jeremiah. I'll just get it from the top again. I will scatter them also among the heathen, whom neither they nor their fathers have known. And I will send a sword after them, till I have consumed them.
Now the sword pretty much goes into judgment. The Lord will cut us off, and, you know, in the lands of our captivities. But even if you look at that in the spirit, chronological order, we were scattered among the heathen, the different slave trades, slave ships, us coming to America. Then what it say? It says, and I will send the sword after them. We know that sword is Esau. That was his blessing. So after we were scattered, then the Lord sent Esau after us. So as if being scattered and going into different captivities among the heathen wasn't bad enough, then the Lord sent Esau after us. That's when we read Deuteronomy 28. He sent a nation from afar, as swift as an eagle flieth. So in the spirit, the Lord sent the sword after us.
Now you really put the sin. Now you really put the sin.
And guess what? The sword being sharpened. Esau is more wicked than he's ever been. He's perfected, you know, his military, his weaponry. You've been seeing more videos of that. Robots can do acrobatics. Robots can do martial arts. They got night vision goggles that can see through walls. Thermal imaging. The sword has been sharpened.
You know, Esau, he really been had that technology. Because I've been playing Call of Duty for years.
Yep.
And it's
been in there.
It's been in them games right there. That's how you know he been had that.
And what Esau showing that we ooh and ah at, he got something more than that.
Man, for real. If you, but the latest was the soldiers, the 20 soldiers that took out hundreds and hundreds of military and security guards over there in Venezuela.
Yep.
That made us go, ooh. Just think about what the next thing that we ain't never seen.
And that whatever that weapon that was just testing.
Yeah.
You know what they doing over there in Gaza? That was all the test for what they about to unleash here in America.
Have you seen the lasers mounted on the warships that can shoot out the sky?
I was listening to the video at work. I peeked at my phone. I stopped so I could sit down and watch it.
Okay, yeah.
I might have lost it. I might even send it to you.
I'll send it back to you. Yeah, they got drones mounted. They got laser technology mounted on these warships, and they can shoot almost like 13 to 18 miles in the sky.
Yep.
And it's unlimited.
Okay.
So these women, they don't have these weapons. don't have to be reloaded. They can just continue to it's nuclear.
I was about to say that. I heard they were nuclear power too.
So you know those big warships, they carry the
Aircraft carriers.
aircraft carrier. That's a nuclear ship.
Yep, nuclear power.
Nuclear power.
Yep.
And those ships just run forever and ever and ever.
Yep.
Well, I ain't gonna say forever, they run on and on
For
and
years.
on for years.
Like the nuclear submarines.
Yep.
They can be underwater for months,
Yep.
years at a time. But I forgot where we was at. Oh yeah, the Lord would scatter us among the heathen, then send a sword after us. And Esau been after us ever since. You know, it happened in the physical sense, when he's trying to exterminate our people. You know, Christopher Columbus. How else has he been after our people? His laws and legislation, systematically through the foods and medicines, chemtrails, rap, pornography, taking on different cultures.
Christopher Columbus wrote in the book that he said that when he got to the Americas, he didn't put his sword down for an hour.
So that means on average, at least every 59 minutes, he was killing somebody with the sword. That's him sending the sword after him. Guess what? Jacob's trouble about to be worse than that. There's gonna be somebody dying probably every 5 seconds.
There's gonna be somebody getting on
Every
alive
second.
every second. Jake more worried about they got robots that's unloading Amazon trucks now.
Oh yeah. But yeah, the Lord created all that. Christopher Columbus coming over here. The Lord created all that. Why? Because he knew Esau was the man to do it, because he's the wicked, and the Lord will deal with him after. The Lord will deal with him double.
Alright, next precept is coming from the book of Psalms chapter 17, verse 13. And it reads, Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
Saying that the Lord will send a white man after us eventually. That's why now our prayer is deliver us from the wicked. You know the wicked is Esau, the so-called white man. When you read Malachi 1 and 4. When you read, I believe, Romans 9, 13 and 14. And really, when you look at his track record, when you look at what he's doing in the earth, it's evident that he's the wicked. But that's why the prayer is deliver me from the wicked, which is thy sword. Just so happened, Esau's blessing is the sword when you read Genesis the 27th chapter, the 40th verse. And then when you read Revelation 6 and 4, to take peace from the earth. And take peace, that's on all levels. Physical peace, in the sense of him creating wars, taking life from the earth, taking away a peace of mind, introducing and creating disease and plagues, and putting them on the people, physically and mentally, throwing off the ecosystem and nature and the weather. You got zombie deer, you got Roundup spray,
You got monkeys on the loose.
monkeys with herpes and the CV.
Don't forget the food. You got it. We've been eating it for years.
Oh, mystery meat, that's him taking peace from the earth.
All these years, some say beef, and now we know to read the back of the labels.
Oh yeah.
First thing it says is pork.
Yeah.
Grab this quick precept, bro.
Alright, bet. But yeah, that's why the prayer is deliver my soul from the wicked. We saw him the white man who is the sword of the Most High. His blessing is the sword.
This is the book of Psalms chapter 37 and verse 40. And the Lord shall help them and deliver them. He shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trust in him.
And see, now, if you ask an American Christian, they say us needing to be delivered from the wicked is us needing to be delivered from Satan with a pitchfork and some horns. I ain't seen Satan and the devil harassing nobody yet.
Right.
But I see a whole bunch of Edomites, so-called white folks, harassing everybody. Not just the 12 tribes. They've been destroyed, the Palestinians, you know. They're harassing their own people. They're going to Greenland now.
Yep.
But yeah, as a brother read, to be delivered from the wicked. If you look on the news, who you need to be saved from?
Right.
Anybody who has had to deal with ICE, I bet you they'll tell you something different.
Yeah, I bet you that lady who got unalived by getting peering in her face, I bet you she's singing a different song.
Yep. Everybody who had to deal with who had to deal with ICE the hard way, they tell you, no, we need to get delivered from these people.
Yep. Because you know, like when Jake get pulled over and he get into it with the cops for not replying, Esau be in the comments, all he had to do is just comply with the cops' orders. Okay. We don't see. People, because now, you know, like you said, Esau running up on his own people now. You know what I'm saying? I bet you they ain't singing the same song no more.
Oh, yeah. So if you look at when Trump and the white man is going in the earth, that's who we need to be delivered from. That's the wicked, that's the soul.
All right, next precept is coming from the book of Zechariah chapter 1 and verse 15.
And this is why we're going to need to be delivered from Esau Edom. Because keep in mind, the Lord sent Esau Edom after us as a punishment to our people. So the Lord intended us to go into slavery, to serve our enemies for the one of all things, you know, to serve him, the white man in his kingdom, to be subject under payments, to pay tax. That's what the Lord intended for our people. But see, Esau took it upon himself to try to exterminate us off the face of the earth. When you read Psalms 83, Esau took it upon himself to make us discontinue from our heritage. You know, he gave us these fake names, God, Jesus, Jehovah, that we forget the Most High. We still could have kept our heritage and kept the commandments in the names of the Lord, in the names of our captivity. We had the names of the Lord in other captivities. But see, Esau took everything 1, 2, 3 steps further.
Right.
To the point that he would have put a microchip in you. And he gonna do it to the 2/3 of our people. So the Lord intended Esau to put hell on us to a certain degree, but Esau took it further.
No mercy.
Oh, no mercy, yup. Esau had no mercy on our people. And then he ain't done.
Brother Warumya had posted a video on Instagram about this Jake that was told that they say that he had raped two Edomites, right? And the Edomites said that he raped them. So Jake had been in prison already. They locked him up without a fair trial. They threw him in prison. He was in prison almost like 21 years. So then they brought him back before the board, and then he had new evidence. For one, when he was in prison, they said, when they arrested him, I'm gonna make it short. When they arrested him, he was in handcuffs, right? One of the Edomite cops, pulled a gun out and just shot him. But in the report, they said that he grabbed the cop gun. He said, no, even in my lineup, I was handcuffed. I was the only one handcuffed. And then they shot him right above the heart. He didn't die. Then he went back to prison, and then before the parole board, he tried to present all his evidence, and they said, okay, well, we're going to look over this. You can step outside. As soon as he walk outside, man, they probably looked over their evidence for like 30 seconds. All right, you can bring him back in. And then they just said, I guess you want us to appeal this. He was like, yeah. They said, all right. They sent him right back to prison. He spent like 40-something years in prison.
Right.
40 years.
Wrongfully.
And
then, wrongful convictions. Then how you tortured our people. Yep. You burn them, lynch them, hang them, cut off his rod, cut off body parts, throw it to the crowd. The Lord didn't intend for none of that.
And one more thing, and they did an examine on the two Edomite girls. They the girls still did that to that man.
See? No mercy.
No mercy.
But see, the Lord gonna deal with him for that.
Yep.
And we gonna get it in both versions. KJV, I get the NLT.
I got the NLT already.
Okay, I'm gonna get the KJV there real quick.
Here we go.
Let me get this one. NLT will be a little easier. So this is Zechariah 1:15. I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. Gentile nations that's ruling over us today. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. So the affliction of the Lord's people, the heathen added unto it. You know, in particular, Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Esau Edom added to our punishment more than what the Lord intended, because he's the wicked, and he hates our people. We read Ezekiel 35. Matter of fact, after we get yours, I'm gonna get Ezekiel. We're gonna get Ezekiel 35. Okay. Let's read this in the NLT.
This is Zechariah chapter 1 and 15 in the NLT, and it reads, "But I am very angry with the other nations that are now enjoying peace and security. I was only a little angry with my people, but the nations afflicted harm on them far beyond my intentions."
See, the Lord said he was a little displeased with us. He said, but the nations inflicted harm on us far beyond his intentions. Esau Edom, so when ICE really come down on our people, but see, even what ICE is doing, ICE not really killing any of our people. The Lord just want our people to get their minds right. Because the scriptures tell you in the book of Ezra that our people not going to be mindful of the scourges. So the plagues and the punishment that the Lord sent, our people not going to ask the question why. Our people not going to consider that we should get right for Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. They're just going to keep going. But see, the Lord said that Esau is going to inflict harm far beyond his intentions. So again, Esau making us forget the names of the Lord, discontinue from keeping the commandments. He want to put a microchip in us. The Lord didn't intend for none of that. But he knew Esau would do it anyway, and he let Esau do it so he could destroy him after the fact. So Esau gonna get over on the 2/3 of our people. And the Lord gonna let him do it. Because the Lord gonna deal with him afterward with them nuclear missiles, and then he going into slavery in the kingdom of heaven. But when you look at what Esau has gotten away with, a lot of stuff, the Lord didn't intend for that to happen, but he knew Esau would do it. 35 and 5. That's all good. And pretty much everything Esau has done, making us forget the names of the Most High, want to microchip our people, want to wipe us, exterminate us off the face of the earth, that's out of his hatred. When you read Psalms 83. And dang, I forgot. But we're gonna get this real quick. Come back.
This is Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
A perpetual hatred. When you read in the New King James Version, it says, because you have had an ancient hatred. Because you've been hating us since the book of Genesis. Genesis 27 chapter. You know, when we got the blessing from our father Isaac. You've been hating us since then, but where did you go before that? Genesis 4, Cain and Abel. Because you Edomites, not only are you white people, Edomites, y'all really the reincarnation of Cain. You the descendants of Cain in the earth today. And really going back to the serpent in Genesis the 3rd chapter. That's how long you've been hating us.
Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and the time that their iniquity had end.
So what? Everything you've been done to us has been out of hatred. Now, the son of our people, and now if our people break the law and do wickedly, yeah, the Lord sets you up to punish our people. We're going to get into that. No, but the stuff you done to our people has been out of hatred and envy. You got to be dealt with for that. Because you punish our people unjustly as you do today. And when you read the book of Maccabees, they come up against us in much pride to destroy us, our wives, and our children. They're doing this out of pride.
It's a complete hatred.
Yep. And what I think about now is Psalms 2. When it says the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing, they say, let us break their bands asunder. You you want to separate us from the Most High by leading our people into wickedness. You didn't have to lead our people into wickedness. You could have just made our people pay taxes, work for you in your kingdom. But no, you wanted to separate us from the Most High. You wanted to wipe us off the face of the earth. Now you want to microchip us. That ain't enough. Now you want to control our spirit.
Let me get Psalms 2.
Yeah, let's grab 1 and 2 and 3.
Okay.
Psalms 2, 1 through 3.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 2, starting at verse 1. Why do the heathen rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? The king of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against the anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
So a band, you can think of, that connection between us and the Most High. Like a power cord. Well, they wanted to unplug, yep. They wanted to unplug us from the power source. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. That's the bands they wanted to break asunder. And guess what? Leading our people into wickedness. So when you read Jeremiah 50 and 7, so what? Let's get Jeremiah 50 and 7 real quick. This is why they wanted to break our bands asunder. They wanted to separate us from the Most High. Pretty much so they can get away with exterminating our people. Because they figure if the Lord is pissed off at us for doing wickedly, because he led us into wickedness, then they can kill our people without penalty. So what Trump is doing, they feel like they can do it without penalty. Like, look at these niggas. And yeah, look at us.
Right.
But that's why the scriptures say, woe to him who giveth his neighbor drink and then look on his nakedness.
All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 7. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord.
And that's how Esau the white man feel.
Yep.
They can oppress us, kill us, even exterminate us because we sinned against the Lord. Because they know when Israel sinned against the Lord
fighting change.
Yep. And that's part of that crafty counsel. But who led us into wickedness? Who set the stage for Israel to do wickedness? There you go. So the Lord gonna deal with him.
All right, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord.
And that's how they feel.
Yep.
My bad.
No, you good, bro. The habitations of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers.
So they feel like they justified in killing our people. They gonna feel like they justified in trying to exterminate us and microchip us. They feel like the Lord not dealing with them no more. The Lord cast off his people. The Lord not looking no more. They not the Lord's people no more. But what the scripture say? Where it was said, you are not the sons of God, there would it be said, you are the sons of Bashim Yahweh Shah.
And since they got that ancient hatred, they still feel like we still a possession.
Oh yeah.
They just can't get rid of it. They just can't get rid of being lording over us.
Yep. Now we gonna get into Esau being set up over our people. Why the Lord set him up? We got it. We went into it briefly. We was already chasing after these other nations and their gods anyway. So the Lord gave us over into it. The Lord scattered us, and then he sent the sword afterwards. And the spirit of that sword will be Esau to put punishment and hell on our people. To get our mind right, but then Esau will go further than what the Lord intended, then the Lord will deal with him after. But Esau's government in the earth, we're going to break that down a little bit.
All right, this is the book of Romans chapter 13, starting at verse 1.
Got the NLT?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
You want me to get in the KJV?
No, perfect. Okay.
All right, this is the book of Romans chapter 13, and starting at verse 1 in the NLT. everyone must submit to governing authority.
You got to submit to governing authorities. Ultimately, that governing authority will be Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. But guess what? We went into that word authorities, and what it say? It says power or rule of government. So it's even authorities, governments in the earth here that we got to obey. And yeah, murder, that's against the law. Stealing, that's against the law. We're supposed to obey that. Because a lot of the laws of the land, I won't say a lot of them, a number of them match up with the commandments. But yeah, we gotta submit to governing authorities. That's why when they ask you, how much are we supposed to pay taxes to Caesar? The Lord said, render unto Caesar what Caesar's. Yeah, we gotta pay taxes. We subject to payments. We gotta obey the speed limit. A nigga get it twisted because we in the truth. We ain't gotta obey the speed limit now. Oh, now you can get rough and talk to the police any kind of way. Now the Lord told you, agree with your adversary quickly. So no, we gotta obey even the authorities here on the earth. But there's a twist. You gotta obey to a certain point. When that point leads you to sinning against the Lord, to the point you get the microchip, that you in complete rebellion against the Most High, you can't obey that authority no more.
That's when you take a stand.
Yeah.
That's when you say, screw you.
And that's what it's coming down to.
And you better stand on 10 toes, because if not, you accept that, you out of there.
Yep.
If you've been obeying all this time, and you're looking for your chance to go against the wicked, then you better stand on 10 toes. You better stand on business, like they say in that time.
Yep. You guys got it all the way through.
Okay. All right. Romans 13 and verse 1. Everyone must submit to governing authority, for all authority comes from Yahweh thy power, and those in positions of authority have been placed there by Yahweh thy power.
Even Esau, even the so-called white man. That's why Job 9:24 tell you that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So yeah, Esau, even the so-called white man, who tells you the book of Romans, he was raised up. That meant that he was placed in that position of power. The government you see today, they was placed in that position by the Most High.
So anyone who rebels against authority is rebelling against what Yahweh thy power has instituted, and they will be punished.
So when you rebel against the laws of the land here in America, the Lord put Esau in position to rule over us, to put certain laws over us. We in captivity. Rather we like it or not, rather we agree with the laws or not, we got to keep those laws. So guess what? When you break Esau's laws, you sinning against the Most High in a sense. And, that's why when you speed willfully, you get a ticket. Because in a way, you rebelled against the authority that the Lord placed. And when you kill, you get dealt with. So us waking up to the truth and realizing we're the sons of the Most High, that don't give you the green light to start treating Esau like he in slavery already. It ain't that time yet.
And they will be punished, for the authorities do not strike fear in the people who are going right.
So guess what? If you're doing right by Esau's laws and legislation, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Hey, but it's a twist. So what? You going to work, paying taxes, giving the IRS what they owe, paying your bills, doing the speed limit, not killing and stealing, not drug dealing and prostituting. You ain't got nothing to worry about. But it's a twist too, because you ultimately gotta be doing right in the eyes of the Most High. In His eyes. You gotta be doing right towards Him. That's the twist. You got nothing to worry about.
And if you're going against it, then you know what's coming next.
Yep. Yeah, if you break Esau's laws, you know what's coming next. If you in rebellion still against the Most High, No matter how good you do here in the earth, you know what's coming next. Because people that's in the truth.
They feel like they
Yep.
I remember when I was in one body, it was this one cat was talking about, no, if the police pull you over, you do not have to show them license. I'm like, man, get out of here.
You're in rebellion and you
Right.
will be punished.
You will be on the back of the car with your hands in your head.
Yep. Oh, that's why the brother Declan from WFI, he had got arrested at one point while they was doing a live lesson. He got arrested on camera, bucking up against the cops.
Oh, yeah.
He should have just moved, being subject to the authorities. He could have continued teaching somewhere else. He got dealt with. You know, that's a small scale. Small example.
All right. Picking back up. But in those who are doing wrong,
So the authorities, they supposed to punish not people who do right, but in those that are doing wrong. But see, Esau wicked because he's harassing and punishing and prosecuting and locking up people who did nothing wrong. You know, according to his law. Yeah, they got green cards. They not considered American citizens, but they going through the process. They got their work visas, green cards, work permits. They going through the process. They paying taxes, paying bills. They going through the process. So he's harassing and persecuting people who not guilty of anything according to his law. See, but what we understand, they're guilty because they sit in rebellion against the Most High. But them being in rebellion against the Most High, that's none of Esau's business. But according to his law, a lot of these people did nothing wrong. But see, that's why the Lord gonna deal with him. If you get 3 all the way through.
all right. Let's start from the top.
Yeah.
All right. For the authorities do not strike fear in the people who are doing right, but in those who are doing wrong. Would you like to live without fear of the authorities? Do what is right, and they will honor you.
So yeah, do the speed limit, law enforcement, the white man and his government is supposed to honor you. You pay taxes, get an IRS, what they owe, they supposed to honor you. You comply with police pull you over, they supposed to honor you. Being a good citizen. But see, even the white man, he's wicked. Even when you're doing right, when you comply with their orders and demands. When you pay your taxes and go through the legal process of gaining citizenship. Now, they don't want to honor you. Now, they want to change the laws. That's why Isaiah 10 say that might be up next.
Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1 in the NLT. What sorrow awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws?
See, that's why the scriptures say, woe to them who issue unfair laws, unrighteous decrees. Because you got people on the path to gain citizenship, but now you want to change the laws to make them guilty and call them illegals. Now they're not supposed to be here. You let them in, but now you change the laws. That's wicked.
What about that time, a couple of months back? Just recently, ICE was waiting outside the people who was going to get their citizenship. Waiting outside the courthouse for them to come out and arrest them.
That's wicked. Yeah, that's wicked. You know, ultimately, you put a microchip on them. Microchip, you're gonna say, you're gonna pretty much make them outcasts in society. You're gonna label them domestic terrorists. That's wicked. Oh, they're gonna label this as a domestic terrorist. That's wicked because we're not doing nothing. We're not robbing, stealing, or drug dealing, not killing. But you're gonna make this wicked. Okay, verse 2 on that as well.
Verse 2, they deprive the poor of justice and deny the rights of the needy among my people.
Taking away true justice from the earth, denying us our rights, to the point we got no rights. You gave us rights, now you want to take them away because you got some kind of wicked agenda that you want to fulfill. that's wicked. But see, that's why the Lord gonna deal with him. Because again, the authorities is supposed to punish those that do wickedly. But you wanna punish the people who ain't doing nothing wrong. Want to change the laws to make it look like we guilty or something. And that's what ICE is doing, punishing people who did nothing wrong. The Lord gonna deal with him.
All right, jumping back to Romans 13, starting at verse 3. For the authorities do not strike fear in the people who are doing right, but in those who are doing wrong. Would you like to live without fear of the authorities? Do what is right, and they will honor you.
Do what is right, do what is good. And you're supposed to be honored, meaning not treated like a criminal.
Verse 4.
Oh, my bad. This is Isaiah 5. But see, Esau changing his laws and legislation. Now he want to switch everything up. What used to be legal, he want to make it illegal.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
So, put good for evil and evil for good. So they say LGBTQT, that's a good thing in the earth. Everybody should be with whoever makes them happy. That's an example of putting dark for likeness, evil for good. But now, it was a good thing when he wanted all the Mexicans to come over here and build up America. But now he's switching up the laws to say now they're illegals. And they're not supposed to be here. Now he want to say that everybody needs a microchip. That's them putting evil for good. And if you do what is good in the eyes of the Most High and don't get the microchip, you're going to say that's evil. Us reading the Bible is good, but you're going to say this is evil.
Y'all out there teaching hate.
So the Lord going to deal with them for that. But ICE can snatch people out of work, separate families.
Ship people to countries they never lived in.
Yeah. Drop them off in the middle of the ocean because you let them over here.
You saw that one of the Republicans had put out that tweet. The people of the United States must be prepared to show proof of U.S. citizenship. You know what I'm saying? So now you gotta have them papers on you.
You got damn to have birth certificate on.
Yeah, exactly. How do we know that this is not fake?
And then that too. When we do show you some legal documentation, you talking about how we know it's not fake.
Right.
Nigga, how we know you? That's where I get ticked off at.
Yeah. That's kind of like just like our people in the same spirit of Esau. When we telling them what the scriptures say, they want to go against that.
Yeah.
Why you know that the Lord? Hey, go that way.
Yeah. But that's man's book. But Esau changing the laws because certain things evil. But he wants you to be in rebellion and get the microchip. Worship his God that he gonna set before you, obey his laws, which are evil, but he gonna say that's the right thing to do. And he gonna punish you for not complying, so the Lord gonna deal with him. Shalom to daughter Yahweh. Shalom to the brother Kabal Shana and the brother Jonathan Bakar. Yahweh Bashim Sabrakazam.
This is the book of Revelations chapter 12 and verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the of her seed, which keep the commandment of Yahweh thy power and have the testimony of Yahweh Shai Mashiach.
See, that's the end goal. Gonna make war with the saints. Those of us that got this truth. See, because what it say? To make war with her, which keep the commandments. So if you don't keep the words and the precepts of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and that's gonna be his whole reason for coming after us. Because you keep the commandments of the Lord, but not their commandments. We gonna obey the precepts which tell us not to get the mark of the beast, which is the RFID market chip. And that's gonna give them grounds for trying to exterminate our people, to kill us, to torture us, and that's why the Lord gonna deal with him. But yes, scripture side, the lesson recital, authorities made subject unto him. Now we understand the role of Esau, Edom, the white man in the earth, to put hell on our people for disobeying the Most High. But Esau, in his pride, hatred, and envy, and wickedness, he would go too far. He would do more to our people than the Lord intended, and then the Lord gonna destroy him after. And then he gonna go into slavery. So ICE about to turn way up, like you never seen before. But keep in mind, he's only doing what the Most High is allowing, and the Lord gonna destroy him after the fact. So what Esau about to do to us, Esau gonna get double. So he's gotta keep that in mind.
Shalom to the brother Angel Padilla on the coming board. Shalom.
Shalom. So that's all we got for today. But the brother got anything else? And that's it. So let's give all praises. Double honor to the elders and Geo Messon taught us the truth. Honor to the brothers risking their life and freedom to push the gospel. Hey, shalom to the elect. Until next time.